So, hello and welcome to another episode of Season 2 of the Cyclist Amateur Tactics, where we follow a team of Achan and cycling enthusiasts through the amateur races where they want to see how far they can get. In the second season, the team has now grown from 2 to 3, and yeah, let's see how they're doing this time. So, in the last episode, we had a pretty good finish in the first tour of the season. And we also got a level up for Maxim. So he's now level 4. And we can make one tweak to his attributes. So what do we want to change? So we of course suffered from a pretty low energy pool. But I think we will combat that in the next level up by giving him 1 in flat. And there is more than one option for that, but more on that once we get there. Otherwise, that should be fine. We also have a time trial coming up. So what I would like to do is make him even faster, and we'll also make him even more competitive in the sprints at the end, so he sort of doubles as our time trialist and our sprinter. I'm not going to give him a recovery, because that's what the fitness peaks are for. I'm not giving him energy per turn. That would make him faster. But we don't have that much energy to begin with, so that's reasonably pointless. So what I'm going to give him is even more attack per turn. So he can have 2 full turns of attack, and then have some leftover, and even more leftover during a fitness peak. So that's what I'm going to do. 9 attack points, and that boosts both our sprint, as you can see on the right. So getting 1 more point here in relation to the average amateur, and also more speed in time trials. We also have to scout, but as usual, I don't care. So not the worst outcome, but not the best either. So let's just take anyone. And let's start Arrow of Timur, and then get into our first mountain tour. Not with Maxim, he will be burnt out after that, but let's see how then our third friend Ulan does in his first mountain tour. But first, Maxim's favorite, Arrow of Timur. So, Arrow of Timur, we are actually among the favorites, although not among the top favorites. And we have some pretty impressive opposition here. Flat level 1, time trial level 1, sprint level 1, from a Bizarra real estate and a few other time trial specialists. So here in the level 7 flat 2 rouleur. So that would be interesting. It's not too long, it's slightly hilly. So it will be straightforward, so let's see what happens. So if you are pacing themselves, does this matter? Not really, because it's probably going to be... Ooh. So I have 24. So if I'm going 1 short of the maximum, or 2 short rather, then I can jump. Hang on. If I go 1 short, I can go here, and from there I can finish. So that's fine, and that's what I'm going to do. Because here it would be also 1 less maximum. It's also 1 less maximum. And I would even have the option to go 1 further, to be definitely the first one across the line. So I'm actually going to do that. It's still 1 short of the maximum, and it gives me more options. For Vladislav, it doesn't matter, though he has enough points anyway, so he goes simply flat out. I'm actually not sure how the recovery will work. So we will have 2 points less, but we might just be first across the line. And I think that's what counts, if I've understood the game mechanics correctly. So we simply go all out without pacing ourselves. And Vladislav, you can see the speed difference between those. Especially since this is a time trial. And across the line in first place. So the extra attack point per turn made an actual difference. So the others might have more energy, but we were faster and we were first across the line, and that's all that counts. And yeah, I can simply go flat out with Vladislav, so let's see what whether he gets something in the top 10 or so. Probably not. So our first win. Very nice. I think it's our first win of an overall event. We had won a stage before, I think, but not an entire event. So this is very nice. Yeah, Vladislav 16th, but Maxim wins this by 0.01 of a turn. So I certainly take that. And they should have put us high on the favorites. So that worked really well. Wow. 200 prestige, and the sponsor actually does care to an extent, so it's not half, it's 0.8. So this will probably be a big points haul for the entire season. And Vladislav is also very short of another level up, so that's also nice. That actually was the level up for Vladislav, what we saw. So, I think we could either give him more energy or make him at least a little bit faster, so that he will be more competitive to compete for good positions when he has a fitness peak. Because attack per turn, I think, is one thing that doesn't change when you are on a fitness peak. So we would have more energy anyway on a fitness peak, more energy per turn, more attack, I think, and more recovery, but not more attack per turn, so he will always be slow. But I don't want that. So we can compensate with shortcomings in all other attributes on fitness peaks, but we can't compensate for attack per turn. And we just saw the huge speed difference between Maxim and Vladislav, so I'm giving him more attack per turn for the other races where which are flat, and it could be long classics or stage races where Maxim is not on his fitness peak, but Vladislav is, so that he at least has a reasonable shot at competing for top positions at the end of stages. So that's what I'm going to do. Making him faster as well. So I have to scout again. Getting one downhill expert and more noobs. That's that's not the worst noob actually to start out, except for attack points. Not that we will ever care. And yeah, so after his win, Maxim partied so hard he's completely out of it for the entire next month, and so he won't take part in the Vitessa Spring Open. And as you can see here, it's going to be mountainous and pretty mountainous throughout. So I don't expect much with Vladislav for these stages, and I'm highly curious how Ulan will do. He's a climber on his major fitness peak. Whether this will be as strong as a time trialist on a short time trial will be interesting, and I think we can realistically now finish the first stage in this episode, and then the next long stages look like something probably for the next 2 episodes even. So let's see how things pan out with now Vladislav and Ulan. So we have a pretty strong field of competitors. So 2 level 9s, 1 level 8, and both climbers and downhill experts. So I think for Vladislav, finishing the tour will be an achievement, and as I said, will be interesting how Ulan does, our climber, on a fitness peak, but he's only level 2, so not too many expectations. So we're starting on mountains, so I'm not going to drop back, since we won't get slipstream anyway. Wow. But I guess that's worth it, over being stuck in the climb after the starting line. But now I'm dropping back, and I'm probably not going forward at any point, unless this goes better than expected. And it doesn't look like it will, because they are making a very hefty pace despite having no SKPs out. Okay, now they're slowing down. Now they're coming to their senses. Except for 5 SKPs, but let them ride. Could be almost 1 per team, so no one might actually bother to try to catch up with them. And it's a long stage ahead. But with reasonable amount of flat passages, so they should give themselves at least ample slipstream, and also in the downhill passages, although these are pretty technical here. And let's see whether they will be still SKPs at the final ones. While we just take a casual stroll through the mountains. So Ulan has a lot of energy and hardly any attack points, so that's something to keep in mind. So he will basically grind towards the end instead of attack. So more attack points will be something for Ulan's next level up if we actually get him there. The other thing to keep in mind, this is just the prologue to 2 true mountain stages. So another reason not to do anything spectacular. No, I'm not going to follow this with Vladislav, so I guess we start the autobus. So 7-3. I'm simply curious, because we're having just some flat passage. I'm simply curious how Ulan will fare on something hilly. So I shouldn't follow along, but I simply do, because I want to know how it will perform subsequently. I could put Vladislav into rest mode, but I actually want to see this through and see how things develop, to have a nice contrast between the two. So Ulan is the only one in the peloton, and Vladislav is now among his newfound friends. Could probably move him to get some slipstream, but let's see how this develops. Probably not worth, at least not worth now, investing energy for that. So we can pay energy with Ulan, because he has energy. Not too shabby. Yep, so they're taking things casual. Imagine how Maxim on his fitness truff would fare with 0 recovery. Where did we lose the other? Oh, the others jumped ahead. So this is now the true autobus at the back. Okay, just one. So Ulan has enough attack points left for one full attack, and that's it. Yeah. So 1 climb done. 3 more to go. The SKPs not too far ahead. And our autobus is not doing that badly either. And they actually have it easier in the technical downhill. Zero is always good. Yeah, we can probably invest 5 here. 4 and 14 node. The peloton is gaining. As long as we can pay energy points, I'm happy. That's one thing Ulan has going for him, and 0 here. Very nice. I might actually go forward with Ulan before the final climb, simply to see how things work. I might miss the lost energy points to do so in the end, but this is just a learning experience, more or less literally. So that's at 80-ish, should go forward. So probably between climbs in the downhills. This will probably be... yeah, this is going to be jumped. See how terrible this is. Ooh, that's all our energy points. All our attack points, sorry about that. But I want to stay with the peloton, because there are 2 more downhill sections with slipstream, and I don't need to attack anything. Because the final climb will probably just be grinds. With that in mind, should I go forward? I can't at the moment, but I will be able to do at the next turn. Easily. And getting actually energy back, which I probably don't really need. Ah, interesting. So when I get energy back, then it's still 2 attack points to move forward. Yeah, I certainly have them with the finish not too far away. So that's going to be jumped, and that's easy. Well, that's even easier. No, I want the slipstream because they will jump to the bottom of the next climb. So that's not urgent. I don't need to position myself, I just want to be among the... Why are they jumping so short? That's interesting. I would have expected that they invested a little bit more. No, I'm going to just... I want to not to drop out with Vladislav, so maximum energy saving, especially he's not on his fitness peak, so he has a recovery of 1. And the red clock isn't in sight, so that's good. Okay, so now things are getting interesting, but we're also almost at the finish. So I can simply maximum 5, because this node is 1 better. So that was that climb. I'm happy where I am because there aren't that many slipstreams here anyway. And I don't care about the exact finishing position. And I can't finish on that turn anyway. Now, if I had attack points, 2, 3, 4, 5, for instance, then I would be able to finish, but since I don't have them, I can't. So that's then good to know for the future. But going forward is a bit useless if you don't have attack points left. And that's that. And now I can finish with Ulan, and Vladislav hasn't even started the final climb. I actually just want to finish. I'm not sure how much do I get. I get for 2 energy points. Yeah, I take that. But I'm not sprinting. Yeah, downhill. It's okay. I have that. Okay. So I spent a few almost zero energy turns with Vladislav, who can now casually go across the line as the last person in the field. So Uland 9th. I think that's okay, given our total lack of attack points, so it was worth keeping him in the peloton. Okay, now we have 2 insane mouth stages up, so I'll leave that for the next episode.